Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank all of our media members that are here as they are taking part in our virtual press conference brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions as we get you set for another great event. Saturday, October 25th, the WBC Super Welterweight World Champion Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fundora looks to continue his dominant 154-pound reign against the former unified world champion Keith one-time Thurman in an explosive clash that is headlining another fantastic PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. But today we have our fighters that are going to be looking to steal the show, and they are headlining our co-main event as we have a clash of champions with two-division world champion Stephen Fulton Jr., the reigning WBC featherweight world champion, moving up to take on the WBC super featherweight world champion Oshaki Foster in a 130-pound world title fight. That is going to be our two men that will be here with us on our virtual press conference. But also on the pay-per-view, rising Mexican star Jesus Mono Ramos faces top contender Shane Mosley Jr. for the interim WBC middleweight world title. And kicking off our pay-per-view event, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, Mexico's rising young contender Isaac Lucero takes on Robert Valenzuela Jr. Tickets are available right now at AXS.com, so make sure to grab your tickets for this fantastic event from the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Plus, in addition to being available for purchase on Prime Video, regardless of your Prime membership, fans will be able to continue to access the telecast through traditional cable and satellite outlets, as well as ppv.com. The event is, of course, promoted by TGB Promotions and Samson Boxing, and our co-main event, Fulton versus Foster, is promoted in association with Top Ring. This event is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Now, let's get to our first fighter, the man that will be defending his WBC Super Featherweight World title. He comes in with the record 23 victories, 12 by knockout, 3 defeats, fighting out of Orange, Texas, as he reclaimed his world title in his last bout by avenging a controversial split decision defeat to Robson Consensao. Please help me welcome Oshaki Foster.
Hey, how's it going, my guy?
Welcome in, Oshaki. You know, how excited are you to get ready? We're just a few weeks away, a little bit, almost a month away exactly, before you'll be stepping into the ring on pay-per-view, looking across the ring against Stephen Fulton Jr.
Man, we feeling good. Training going well. We right on schedule. We got 5 weeks, 4 weeks of training left, so we just locked in.
Now, I know you guys had the kickoff press conference a couple of weeks ago, and there was a little bit of war of words between you and Fulton. And I think that surprised a lot of people that were watching and media members in attendance because, you guys didn't, there's never been really rumblings of you two having any sort of animosity. What was it about, that interaction on the first press conference, that sparked some of that animosity?
For me, it's all the disrespect. Just like you announced, all of it's disrespect. Just like you announced, oh, Fulton versus Foster. No, it's Foster versus Fulton. Off the rip, we fighting for my title. We ain't fighting for his title. So, and I get they trying to run it as a champion versus champion, but it's a respect thing. In the end of the time, at the end of the day, y'all disrespecting me as the champion. You know what I mean? By just at all. So, you know what I mean? That's where all the energy came from. And I feel like he the one crying on the back end trying to get all this to look like this to appease his ego, you know what I mean? Because it ain't right how a lot of this stuff going. But like I said, man, I plan on making them pay for it on the 25th. So it's all good.
Now, going into this fight against Fulton, that was going to be my next question. You obviously answered that. You feel certainly disrespected by it. With that disrespect and that motivation going into October 25th, do you feel like it's not good enough just to get, a win? You need to be dominant. You need to put sort of an exclamation mark on that to really prove your point.
Um, Maybe. Um, I'm just focused on putting on the best performance that I can and just showing the doubters and proving everybody wrong. That's my biggest thing. And whatever comes out of it. But we will be leaving with our hand raised.
I see we got your opponent, and we'll bring him on right now as he's just joined us, coming in with a record of 23-1, 8 wins by knockout out of West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the reigning WBC Featherweight World Champion, looking to become a three-division world champion and looking to solidify himself as one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. We have he recently earned the 126-pound world title back in February with a second win over Brandon Figueroa. And that was a very dominant performance. So please help me welcome Stephen Scooter Fulton Jr.
You got to clap when you say that. You got to start clapping. You said welcome. You got to clap.
Yeah.
But how y'all
Welcome
doing?
on.
What's up?
Well, welcome on, man. We appreciate you joining us here. So we had Foster. He was able to say a few words, and we'll certainly get to him with a little bit more back and forth. But wanted to bring you on as well. And I kind of alluded this to Foster. I think same question to you. I think there was a lot of surprise from media members. From your first interaction just a couple of weeks ago, the kind of heated words that you guys exchanged going back and forth. Do you believe that's more so on his end or on your end? He obviously feels he has said it. He feels disrespected on the build up for this fight. How are you feeling about the animosity that's been brewing between you two?
I wouldn't say it's animosity. I understand like the frustration from his aspect from boxing overall, but business is business, and I was in that space before, and I know how these things go, so I'm more calmer when it comes to these things now, and I just let things go as they go. So I mean, it's not no animosity though.
Now, your last fight against Figueroa, you just mentioned it. You were the underdog. A lot of people were picking Figueroa going into that fight. Many were doubting you going into it, and you ended up looking outstanding. And it was a dominant performance. What made you want to move up after that fight? Move up another weight class. What was the motivation and reasoning behind that? Was it a third world title? Was it the fight against Foster, or was it both?
It was the weight. I ain't want. I'm about to make the same mistakes I did in the past. So I'm like, I can't make this no more. This will be my last fight here at this weight class.
Now, I'll go back to you, Foster. Same thing. You had options as the world champion. I mean, you are the WBC world champion at 130 pounds. Um, you certainly could have done pretty much whatever you desired. You talked about you could have gone up. Why pick Fulton for this fight?
Um, I just felt like um, it was the perfect opportunity for me to get a big name or a big opponent that's a lot more accomplished in front of me, and just to have that kind of name on my resume. So just that's really the big thing. You know what I mean? We've been paying attention to Foden. Shit, it's a good fight to come across our table.
Now over to you, Stephen. In an interview, Foster has mentioned, that he believes that you lost something in the Inoue fight. He said that, you look like a totally different fighter since that fight. He felt that you have slower hands, slower feet. What do you say to that?
I say I gained more than I've lost in my mental space, and that has allowed me to fight better in my eyes. Me going into these fights in a different headspace is the best thing that happened to me. Me taking that loss was the best thing that ever happened to me. Cause now I don't walk around getting upset about things that I can't control. I know how to control things now, and I know what they expect out of people in the ring, outside the ring, the media, the builder. I know how to handle myself now. I know how to just expect these things, and it gave me the sense of not really putting my energy into things I can't control and not giving a fuck. So I feel like I gained a lot mentally, and that's what, as long as if my mental is perfect, then I fight. I fight perfect. So that's I gained from it. I wouldn't say I
Obviously,
lost anything.
now, obviously, the storyline, something that people have mentioned is going up another weight class to 130 pounds. For maybe casual fight fans that they just kind of look, oh, he's going up another weight class. That's a dangerous thing. But we also just saw Bud Crawford go up 2 weight classes to become another undisputed world champion. What can you tell those fans that maybe don't have the insight and aren't with you every day, that maybe what are some of the benefits for you moving up to another weight class, even though it will be first fight for you at 130 pounds? What are the benefits for you going up another weight class?
I will be more fuller. My body weight, my punching power, my combinations, my endurance. I'll be a lot more. I will be a lot more experienced in those fields and carry on more of my comfortable weight. I'll be more comfortable, a lot closer to the weight where I can rehydrate to and things like that. I'll be more closer. But like you just said, like, Terrence Crawford did it. So like the ones that feel like it's a big step, it's not. Nothing is a big step, especially when you're trying to be great. My first fight at this weight class is a world champion. You can't take that away from him or me. So it's like that right there explains what I'm trying to do and in my career. Like I want to be one of the greats. I'm already a great fighter, but I want to be one of the ones that they mentioned, like, oh, well accomplished. He's did this, top 10 pound for pound. I like those things. I love those accolades as well. But first and foremost, I have to do this for me. So this is like a gift to myself by challenging myself once again.
All right, now we will. I'll turn things over to Andrew as we have many media members on. So they are going to ask away. We have Foster and Fulton. So just please raise your hand, and Andrew will try to get to you guys.
Remember, Flores, this ain't no Canelo versus Crawford. This Foster versus Fulton, bruh. That ain't going that way. Y'all trying to create no. I'm coming in. I'm handling business, bruh.
All right. Thank you for that, Miguel. Um, as a reminder to all the media that are joining us, if you have any questions for the fighters, please hit the raise hand icon. We're going to start off. Our first media questions are going to come from Alan Dawson with Uncrowned for Yahoo Sports. Alan, go ahead and unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Hi, I think I've unmuted myself. Can you guys hear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I've got a question for each of the guys. I'll start with Stephen. You've seen so many different styles in the ring. You've got a great resume with wins over Angelo Leo, Brandon Figueroa, and you've been in the ring with Nayo Inoue too. How different is Oshaki Foster's style, and what kind of things in your training, sparring partners, and coaching have you done to adapt to quite a complicated defensive master?
Man, we continue to do what we do in the gym. We work on what we need to work on and things like that. We just enhance the things that we feel like we can. How can you say it? Take away from his game as well as strengthen mine. So it's not really much that I can say about that. But we're working.
And Oshaki, you've been on the wrong end, I think, of a few decisions. Particularly Robson Conceição, which you avenged. Seeing how close. I know you're saying this is, Foster and Fulton, but we see judges put in questionable scorecards. Even Canelo Crawford. Crawford, I think, should have been far wider. Rather than 115, 113. You've been on the wrong end of a bad decision yourself. how confident are you in boxing's judges right now? Shakur Stevenson supported you on, when you had that, bad decision go against you last year. Have you had to adjust your style or anything to kind of get the attention of the judges for what you do so well in the ring?
Um, I really don't think about the judges too much. I mean, if I go into fights thinking about the judge is gonna take it from me, then I probably ain't gonna fight to my full ability. But I will say this: the first fight with Conceição, it definitely taught me something. Like I keep saying, just not to be complacent. Always finish strong, stuff like that. So that's what I plan on doing for the rest of my career. Not letting nobody make it. Not trying to let it go to a unanimous decision. Just work and keep it consistent throughout the fight type. You know what I mean?
All right. Thanks very much, Rashaki. Thanks for those questions, Alan. Our next media questions are going to come from Keith Idek with Ring. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
My first question is for Steven. Steven, you mentioned earlier that you're done at 126 pounds. Have you alerted the WBC to that? Because obviously you still have the title, but have you told them that yet, or
No, no,
no? But you're not going to fight at 126 anymore?
I'm not sure. I'm not really focused on that right now. I'm focused on this fight in front of me, and that's all.
Okay. My other question is for Oshaki. Oshaki, what did you think of Fulton's performance against Brandon Figueroa? Because he beat him convincingly, and it was a very good performance. Most people thought. What did you think of it?
I mean, I thought it was all right. I didn't like think it was this great ass performance like y'all trying to say like the first guy that was talking Gabe Flores and how y'all just talking like it was just like a Canelo like Crawford just did Canelo or something. I thought it was a good performance. Like he won and did what he was supposed to do. But I feel like y'all kind of like the fans and everybody trying to. I feel like he did better in the first fight than like I thought the first fight looked the better type. You know what I mean? Like more sharper, more. You know what I mean? I thought it looked better the first fight, but the second fight, I mean, he won. He did good. Like I don't think it was his great showing, like y'all saying. You get what I mean? But it was a good fight. He won. You know what I mean? Respect.
All right. Thanks very much. Appreciate those questions, Keith. Our next media question is going to come from Ron Goodall with Fight Hype. Ron, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. I got a question for both. First question comes to Stephen Fulton. For a long time, your face-offs are pretty serious. You pretty much have like a serious look, but the last face-off, you started smiling, looked like you had a good time. Was that just confidence when you were facing off with Oshaki?
I'm just in a good space right now, bro. That's what I be speaking on, bro. I'm in a good space. I'm happy. I'm enjoying myself. I know not to take things so serious anymore. And when I do things like that, I just enjoy myself when I'm in the ring. Like, you get a better me, you get a better version of me. I don't have to be hostile towards every opponent or just in general. But I know how to. I normally would bring the same energy that my opponent is bringing, but I know how to just control the narrative now. And just, you know what, I'm not on that, or I'm just on some chill stuff. But like I just said, I'm in a good space right now, bro. I'm in a good space.
And my follow-up question to Foster, a lot of fighters speak of how much they've learned from like losses, and Stevens has mentioned how he's in a lot better space from learning from those experiences. Can you relate to that kind of same kind of sentiment? Where, I know everyone wants to be undefeated, but do you look at the same way as those are opportunities to learn and get better?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna let him get away with that. That shit was nervous energy. That chuckling, little laughing, chuckling. Then when he seen I wasn't laughing, he got serious face. That shit wasn't no. That he was nervous energy. But for me, I really don't. I really whatever energy I bring, I'm bringing that same energy every time, whether I say something or not. See, I just was a little bit more vocal in this press conference, a lot more vocal because of the disrespect and all that. But every fight I come in and I'm looking at these people like they trying to take something off my plate. No, it's not. It ever be personal because it's a sport, but bro, I'm coming to I'm not playing like shit. However, the energy I brought in the last press conference is how I bring it every press conference. Like I say, I just don't get the opportunity to talk like I did.
All right. Thank you for those questions, Ron. Our next question is going to come from Cynthia Conti with the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Cynthia, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
This question is for Stephen Fulton. You mentioned that, pretty much anyone that's ever lost in the ring that you learn about yourself. And with your loss against Naoya Inoue, obviously you learned something about yourself. But was there something that you learned about Naoya in the ring that you're able to bring into this fight and into your future fights? Like some of the crafty moves that he did, and you're like, oh shit, that was good.
No, I just focus on my own game and just take the mental aspect away from whatever I learned by my first defeat. That's all. I fight my fight. I fight my style. And with me, Bozy, and the team doing the gym, we do our own thing and we learn. And I learn from them things.
Okay, and go ahead.
No, you good.
You're done? Okay, and then this is for both of you. Be nice, guys. Can you guys say something positive about each other in the ring? Oshaki, what's something positive about Stephen Fulton as a fight fan that you watch when you watch him and vice versa? Stephen, as a fight fan, what do you see positive about Oshaki as a fighter?
I don't really watch him. So the things that I did see, I could say, he be with the smoke. I guess that's positive.
How about you, Oshaki?
I'd say, man, two-way world champion, you know what I mean? I guess you could, that's positive, I guess, you know what I mean? That's
I'm
positive.
fly as shit too. I'm fly too, you know what I'm saying? Fly as shit.
Yeah, that's positive, man. That's you feel me? That's what it is.
All right. Thank you very much for those questions, Cynthia. Next up, we have Mark Lellenwall for DAZN News. Mark, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
All right, Stephen, you're coming up in weight, but Oshaki has been adamant in saying that his skills will be the difference maker. What are your thoughts about that?
He's a fighter. Man. He believe in it. He believe in his skills. So it's the same as me. So there's nothing I can say about bad about that because I would say the same thing if I believe in my skills. So and my job is to show him that there is levels, experience matters. I've been in there with 4 different world champions. So it's like my job is to show him that I'm experienced, show the experience, and show my talent as well. That's just my job.
Gotcha. And this question is for both. Oshaki, you said this is the biggest moment in your career. Why do you feel like that? And Stephen, what does this fight represent for you at this stage in your career?
I mean, I guess I say it's the biggest moment of my career because this fight would take me where I want to go in the sport of boxing. You get what I'm saying? That's really what I meant by that. You know what I mean? That's really what I meant by it. It's the most important fight of my career.
And Stephen?
This fight was just put me in the Hall of Fame. It would just stamp it. It would be like the icing on the cake for me. So that's why it's an important job, an important task for me.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Appreciate those questions, Mark. We got time. We'll try to get to a few more here. Next up, we have Abraham Gonzalez for Fights Around the World. Abraham, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
All right, gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. First question is for the champ, Ushaki Foster. It's been a little bit of a start and stop for you the last 12 months with this fight. It was supposed to be on this date, and then that date it got moved around. How were you able to navigate through like maybe like the mental tug of wars and the physical ones trying to start and stop a training camp? And not knowing if a fight was going to happen or not?
I was just I ain't gonna lie, it didn't frustrate me or nothing. I mean, of course, we would have loved the first day because it was not gonna like this fight ain't big, but that was a much bigger fight. Um, but all in all, I never I I never stopped trying. I've been just sharpening my tools and getting to it this whole time. So it really wasn't no start and stop for me. It's just was getting healthy. That was my first part of it. And then, you know what I mean, just sharpening everything up, making sure I'm gonna be the most skilled when I get in the ring.
All right, and then this question is for Stephen Fulton Jr. I've noticed that, you keep reflecting back to you being a more patient person and not allowing certain things to get to you. This is a little different than the Stephen Fulton we've seen a few years ago that it might have bothered you, certain things. What do you contribute that patience to? Like, what changed in your life that contributed to you having a different aura about yourself?
Uh, you losing and seeing how people turned their back, seeing how everybody treated me, seeing how going through family stuff, life lessons. That's what it was, and it just made me ahead. It forced me to be patient. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm patient, I just sit back and I be like, before I just go off for something and make a permanent decision or judgment, I'll just sit back now, think about it, and just what, it ain't even worth it. I just let it go. So that's what. But now I take that patience into the ring as well. You have to be patient in that ring, even though it's a high paced sport. You still have to be patient. So if you could manage that, you can manage anything.
All right, thank you, Stephen. Appreciate those questions, Abraham. Next up, we have David Melandra. If you could please unmute yourself and ask your questions for Sports Talk Philly.
My question's for Steven. Hey, Steven, what's the main thing you can take away from your last fight going into this one?
Just me not giving a fuck. So I didn't care that last fight. I was just whatever was gonna happen was gonna happen, and I can say the same thing for this fight. Just go in there, not giving a fuck, and that's when I fight my best. When I don't care if I don't put too much into the fight itself, or how big the fight is, what I'm fighting for, things like that. Just don't care about what the media is saying. As far as like not this type of media, but more so with the social media and the casuals and all. Don't pay that. I don't pay that no mind. Pay that any mind. A lot of people say he's gonna win. A lot of people say I'm gonna win. But the thing is, none of that shit, none of them things matter when we step until we get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to pay those things any mind.
Final one.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, David. I thought
Yeah, Dave, we'll holler at you though. Sorry.
David, sorry about that. I hit it a little too soon there. If you had a follow up.
So my follow up for you for Steven would be: do you believe Philadelphia boxing is back where it needs to be, especially being able to host some fights, being these big type of roles, like especially yourself, Jerron Ennis, Jesse Hart, and Danny Garcia?
Yes, I do. I believe it is. Yes, and it's been like that for a while. I mean, I've been before Boots was champion, and when Danny had lost, I've been holding the city down for like 4 or 5 years straight, consecutively. So now that when Boots became world champion, he's running it up with the torch, and he's been bringing big fights back to the city of Philadelphia. So I definitely would like to do a card with him one day in Philadelphia. That'll be a sold out event.
All right, perfect. Thanks again for those questions, David. I know we're tight on time here. Our last media questions for today are going to come from James Bell with the Boxing Source. James, if you could please unmute yourself, you can ask your questions.
All right, thanks, Andrew. My first question here is for Chucky Foster. In the press conference, you said, like, I'm going to show everyone who's doubting me, and once I show everyone what I'm really about, there won't be any questions about me. Now, for this upcoming fight here against Stephen Fulton, like, what are you going to show to the people and yourself there as far as, like, proving yourself to be one of the best super featherweights in the world?
I just plan on showing a new wrinkle to my game. Well, not a new wrinkle, but well, we could say I had a rough last year, I guess. Yeah, we could say that. You know what I mean? And I just feel like ever since then, People just feel like I ain't been worthy of being a champion, or like I won the belt on accident or whatever. So, being that people think stuff sweet, and I know my potential, I know my ability. I made some changes over the last few months and everything. So I just plan on y'all gonna see a different me when I go out there this time. It's gonna be the sharpest, the best fight out y'all that I've been. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking forward to it.
Gotcha. And my question for Stephen Fulton, like we talked at the press conference, after the press conference for your rematch against Brandon Figueroa, and you talked about that moment of clarity after your loss to Naoya Inoue, and how you're approaching, your career from this point forward as like as you said, to not give an attitude here. So do you think that's kind of like really made you be more, I would say, you know what, I'm good, so I don't really have to care about what anybody says. I'm gonna just do me.
That I say not giving the attitude, or what I say?
Yeah, not giving a fuck, man. I would just say it, not giving a fuck. You feel me?
Yeah, there it is. No, but no, yeah, man. I just, that's what carries me on now, bro. You don't care about what people say. Just don't care about it. Like when you put too much energy in that, you put too much energy into the wrong things. It's like nothing that these people say is gonna matter. You gotta think about where we're at and what we're doing and the height of our careers. World champions 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 2 weight division. The things that we accomplish and things that these people who are constantly bashing us fighters are accomplishing is like night and day. They're not nowhere near us, financially or accomplishment wise. So it's like once I understood this is what these people are supposed to do, because we're the entertainers. Like we're still in the entertainment business. Like when you look at it that way, you're like, man, don't. You start to keep your mouth shut, man. Just don't even worry about it. Go in one ear, out the other. So.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. And thank you, James, for those questions. Thank you to all the media that joined us today. We appreciate both Stephen and Oshaki for your time. That's it for our media questions. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Miguel.
Yeah, I was all late, man. My bad, y'all. I was late. I was in the gym.
We appreciate you. I'm going to turn it back over to Miguel. We'll get closing comments from the fighters.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. And I want to thank all our media members for joining us on our call. And we'll get kind of closing comments from both men. We'll start with you, Foster. What can fans expect October 25th? You guys are the co-main event and obviously looking to steal the show.
Start with the challenger, man. Hey, finish with the champion, man. Finish with the champion.
That's what they doing. They start with the challenger. Go ahead.
Nah, he over there.
I got you. Look, I got you. I'm gonna take it over.
All right, you can go ahead, Fulton. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take the show over. Look, what they expect is an action-packed fight. 2 hungry young fighters are going to lay it out on the line. He got something to prove. I have something to prove. It's going to be an action-packed fight. And we're going to throw that leather. You know what I'm saying? I'm thumping in that motherfucker.
All right. Thank you, Fulton.
But I will become 3-division world champ, bro. That's it.
Hell nah. Look, we ain't going to let them finish it off that. October 25th, we going to see y'all. Hey, like my brother said, fireworks, but hey, we standing on business. That belt ain't going nowhere. You feel me? It's up.
Caution, all.
That's where it's coming back to the city.
All right, thank you guys. Gentlemen.
All right, Miguelito.
It was a pleasure, guys. It was a pleasure to have you guys on. We look forward to seeing you fight week. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, October 25th, it all goes down. MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. We got Fundora, Thurman. We got Foster and Fulton. You do not want to miss it. It's a PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video.
Good energy.
We will all see you fight week.
I'm going to see y'all. Good energy. Y'all be safe out here.